All right, let's talk about when you're doing an interview with either the client or a customer or maybe customer service, like we've spoken about. Those are all very important ways in which you can glean a lot of information when you're writing copy, right? Interviews are really an underutilized way to get really good insight. So, what can you do? Obviously, when you do an interview, whenever possible, and you have to disclose this, but you want to be able to record the conversation. It's a very good thing to do, so you have it because odds are you won't take great notes. You can try, but you don't want to be focused on taking great notes. You want to be focused on listening and asking great questions. So you don't want to have to think about trying to write things down as they talk. It's just not a good strategy at the time. You want to be able to respond and ask great questions. So what do you do though when you're done? Well, one, how do you record it, right? That's the first question. So there's a few different options. As you see, I have pulled up on my screen a site called otter.ai. Really good. It's free up to 600 minutes per month. So I definitely recommend you use Otter. If you go for the paid version, it'll also integrate into your Zoom account. So you could actually do Zoom calls and automatically, and it happens in real time too, it'll actually create a transcript of the call. So by the time you're done, you've already got the transcript is already built out. Now that's like pretty cool, but you may not need to pay for that because that's a pretty advanced feature. I mean, if you're doing a lot of it, then it could make sense, but the free account gives you 600 minutes per month, which I think is 10 hours the last time I checked my math. So that's a good amount. I don't know if you'll be doing more than 10 hours a month of straight interviews. You might, but Otter is a great way to start, and they also have an Otter app as well, which is really cool because it actually integrates into like your calendar too. So when a call is about to start, it'll actually pop up the Otter option. It'll say click here to start recording. It doesn't necessarily though record the phone call. I think it more or less records you talking. So you have to be careful. Kind of try it out. I've not used this much. I've had other people who swear by it. Me personally, I don't do a lot of interviews these days because I pretty much have my team that does those things. I also, if I am going to record a call, I will use this this app called Automatic Call Recorder, which is what I use for Android. And again, you have to disclose it because don't want to violate laws. I am not an iPhone person, as I've said, but I looked it up and there is a call recorder app that you could install on your iPhone. And so if you're doing like a phone-to-phone call, you'll want to use something like this. If you're going to use Zoom or any kind of a platform like Zoom, I would record that call via Zoom, and then when you're done, you can save it and you can even export it as an MP3 or an M4A file. If you do that, you can actually import up to 3 files per month directly into Otter. So you just would click on import and you can browse for it and you can drag it in. You can do 3 per month under the free account. That's pretty good. If you need to do more, so here's like a backup plan. If you overrun your Otter and you need more, there's a great service called Rev.com. You may have heard of it. We use this all the time in my company, Rev.com, REV.com. And if you'll notice, you'll see that it's pretty expensive. I mean, $1.25 per minute would be like, a phone call would, an hour would be what, like 70, $80. But there is a way cheaper option. They don't advertise it right off the top, but if you go up to services, you'll see they can give you a rough draft, which is basically an automated machine generated transcript. And that's probably fine for what you need. And you'll have the audio still, so if there's parts that don't make sense, you could always jump back and kind of retype the part that got screwed up. But in general, you'll get a pretty good lay of the land with this at 25-cent cost. So that would mean like an hour would cost you like $15, pretty cheap. And then you have that interview forever. And here's how. Once you've got the copy of the transcription, you would just manually copy and paste it into your Roam database where it would stay forever, and you'll tag it properly. You'll create it under its own page, and you can always go and pull that interview back up whenever you need it to take pieces of it, parts of it, whatever you would like. So I highly recommend using Otter to transcribe. You can get up to 10 hours. If you use their app, you could import 3 files to get your transcripts. If you overrun that, then you can either upgrade and pay for the paid Otter, or you could also use revs.com. Their rough draft version's pretty good. That's what we use quite a bit. And if you're on your phone and you want to record, you can use the automatic call recorder for Android or the call recorder app for the iPhone. And really all you do is just hit recording, and it'll drop that file as an MP3, and then you import that MP3 wherever you want to transcribe it. So that's what I recommend. You don't really want to do an interview without saving it. You want to keep it and have it forever, and that's how you do that, and that's all part of the system. But again, you will have to manually take that copy, paste, and bring it into Roam. We'll see you in the next video.